Hey everyone, it's Joseph here with another video. Today I wanted to do a quick comparison of Apple Music against Spotify. I've been a long-time Spotify user. I love Spotify, but just out of curiosity, I see a lot of people start switching to Apple Music. I saw the controversy with Apple Music going up $1 more than Spotify Premium. I know a lot of friends and family members who love Apple Music, or friends and people who love Spotify. I was on that list of people who absolutely love Spotify, but I wanted to switch and see just a little bit of a comparison. So this video is going to be about comparing it, my experience using it if you're a diehard Spotify fan and you just never switched to Apple Music, or vice versa and you wanted to know about Spotify. This is the video for you. So I just wanted to get into it, touch a little bit about details, and just see what I learned, see what I like, see what I didn't like. So let's get into it. One thing I really liked about Spotify was the navigation menu. I thought it was great. I thought that it was really colorful, bright, easy to navigate, super minimal, super easy to understand. I liked how there was notifications on if you followed artists, what popped in, what popped out, what they dropped, what didn't, the years, all that. And I know Apple Music does the same, but I just like the layout of Spotify and what they have to offer all the time when you're scrolling through finding new musics, new artists, new albums, all of it. I just thought it was really easy and simple to use. And I don't know, I just thought it was just looked better, seemed better, settings were better. I just thought it was better. When I went into Apple Music, I felt it to be really minimal. I feel like Apple Music pushes albums more than Spotify. I think Spotify pushes artists and songs above albums. Of course, you can go and look at albums. Of course, you get notified if you want to when an album drops for artists you follow or want. But I just felt like Apple Music just put a lot of emphasis on albums over singles and artists compared to Spotify, and I think that's where they really differ. I like seeing new music be put out, and a lot of artists, at least nowadays, put out songs at a time instead of albums at a time, and I feel like that's why Spotify was good. I think that the algorithm for Spotify when you find new music is still better than Apple Music. I know Apple Music's been trying to do that, and I really appreciate them giving that option to go to new artists' radios or suggest, but I just think the algorithm for Spotify is just better. When it comes to Spotify, the sound quality you can adjust along with Apple Music. You can do the exact same thing. I just thought it was really interesting to see both of them try to start narrowing that gap together instead of being so far apart like they were. And it's interesting to see what one is trying to do over the other to figure out or to push themselves to be better than one another. I know a lot of people who use Spotify. I know a lot of people who use Apple Music and swear it's better. And switching to Apple Music, it was an adjustment. I really like the music quality of Apple Music. I like the color a little bit more than the green of Spotify. I don't mind it. I just think that the red is a little bit cooler. I like the fact that you can scroll through it just as well. It is very minimal compared to Spotify. I know Spotify's already minimal, but it's like Apple Music just went more minimal. I like how easy it is to connect to it. I use it with my AirPods Max. I think the sound quality is phenomenal. I adjusted the sound quality in the settings to get different types of quality in the sound. I really enjoy it. I really like it. I like the updates that they did to it. It makes it just a little bit more easier to access, and I just started to really enjoy and be drawn to the feel of using Apple Music. Spotify, when you connect Bluetooth to it, I don't like the icon it gives you. I don't like the fact that the icons look weird. I just feel like there's an extra step in there compared to Apple Music that was just hold down the control panel button and just automatically connect. I thought that was super convenient. And it would make sense that Apple would do this given the fact that it's Apple Music and it's connecting to Apple devices. I'm sure Spotify is better for third-party options in that sense, but it's just since I'm using an iPhone and all my Apple products, I just felt it was a lot easier using AirPlay and just automatically connecting really fast. When it comes to Spotify, I think that the Friends section of it is cool. I know Apple Music's been trying to do stuff like that. I just think it's easier on Spotify. I think it's desktop-wise, I think Apple Music has made some strides to be better, but I still think Spotify is the best one. Both of them allow you to download music offline and stream through cellular services, and I think quality-wise, both of them do a really good job at making sure that they grab whatever cellular you're doing. So they're both really narrowing the gaps together, and I just think that is something that they're trying to figure out. Now, I know that Apple Music has started doing Dolby Atmos audio or Dolby audio, and while it's, I would say, a little bit more crisp, and it's only in some songs or some artists or newer releases, don't think it's necessarily justifiable over the fact that when you go into the Spotify settings and you adjust up to like super high quality in the Spotify settings, it sounds just as good. So I'm not sure where Apple Music is trying to jump up above that extra dollar aspect ratio. I mean, the plans are still the same. You can do single, student, if you're a student, family, like they both have the same ideas. And I feel like Apple Music or Apple in general really saw Spotify doing that, and they wanted to make sure that they were also in that league so that they wouldn't get picked above the other. But at the same time, I feel like Spotify doing that first grabbed a lot of fans and grabbed a lot of people, and I just think the quality is a little bit better on Spotify, but I feel like Apple Music is catching up, and they're doing a really good job at making it aesthetically pleasing to look at, easier to use, quicker to use, make sure the audio's there, and both of them are just way above any other streaming audio service. So I guess in conclusion, I would say that Spotify I think still is a little bit better, but I am a big fan of Apple Music after trying it. It's actually very nice and easy to look at, much easier to use, and I feel like it's starting to grow on me. I think Spotify for a lot of people is just as good, but I don't think there necessarily needs to be as many arguments as there once were about this. I know I was a big person who would argue against Apple Music, and I still did up to even now until trying it, but that was when Apple Music was really not even in the remote category as Spotify, and now that they're kind of shrinking that gap, I feel like people are starting to talk about it more and a lot more videos are being made. So I guess in conclusion, it's really just up to you and what you like. They're both really good services. They both do a lot of things right, and they can both do things a little bit better or one way or the other based off what they do. So if I would just say, if you like to know more about artists and singles, I would go with Spotify. The algorithm, like I said, is really good for it. And if you just want to do more album based, I'd probably lean towards Apple Music. They do a really good job at pushing that album, but they're starting to integrate ways of just being more on the artist side too. So they're doing a really good job of making sure they can do that as well. So I think it goes back to like what I said about what you like, because I know Apple Music is $1 more than Spotify, and I really don't think that $1 is really justifiable based off of the type of sound quality they do. They both sound absolutely great. I think that they should still be the same. And I feel like that's where that topic came from, when they were more close or exactly the same. If you guys want to see more comparison videos, let me know in the comments below. Feel free to like, share, subscribe if you enjoyed it. But I'm still trying to keep it to what I usually do, which is Apple Tech. But I just thought about this for a minute, and I thought this was a good idea. And I just wanted to try them out. Try Apple Music again after it's been a long time. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.